Everyone have behaviors, good and bad. But a behavior is not intrinsically good or bad. What about the behavior of children with special needs? Before we start, we want to give you a disclaimer. This information and all the information in this video is not intended to serve as substitute for consultation with medical and behavioral professionals. Only some awareness video to the public. So, let's start by defining who are individuals with special needs. Special needs is defined as an individual with mental, emotional, or physical disability. An individual with special needs may need help with communication, movement, decision, self-care, or behavior. So, what do behavioral disorder in children with special education needs and disabilities in general? Behavioral disorders are a diverse group of conditions in which an individual or student chronically perform highly inappropriate behaviors. Due to the pandemic, in-person instruction is especially difficult for disabilities due to the usage of online platforms. And I think it is important to the public to know how to control or adapt the special need behavior in any situation or any place. One of the biggest challenges parents of children with special needs face every single day is challenging behaviors. For example, they might behave aggressively, seems anxious or withdrawn, and seems disconnected from everyday reality. Besides that, the problematic behaviors do have several general features in common, like they tend to be extreme, they tend to be socially unacceptable, and they affect schoolwork. This also can include meltdown in public, scratching, hitting, beating, self-injuries behavior, and the list goes on. Therefore, it is very important to know some ideas or some ways to control the special needs children behavior. In this topic, not only parents, but teachers, therapists, and medical doctors need to play their roles in managing the challenging behavior among children with disabilities. So, this topic will be explained in the next segment.
As we all know that parents are the one who become their first role model since we were with them since they were born. We are the one who should provide for their needs, and we as a parent also need to recognize our children's ability. If we acknowledge it earlier, it will help them in many ways. The early intervention need to be planned to improve their skills such as motor skills, communication, and also their behavior. Why do our children need to get early intervention? When we recognize our children's disabilities earlier, we can refer a pediatrician and get their advice. Early intervention can be applied, and from that, our children can achieve their highest potential. We, as a parent, also need to provide our children with a conducive environment. Before that, what is meant by a conducive environment? A conducive environment is providing the right condition for something good to happen or exist. The conducive environment can help them to express themselves more, and from that, the parent can understand their children more. If needed, they can consult a pediatrician for further action. Our children show different behavior when they were with a different person or group. It is important to control their behavior at home for them to know what is right and what is not. Apart from that, we also will improve their social skills by controlling their behavior at home, and our child won't have any problem adapting to any social group such as among their peers. Understanding them will help both parents and the child to achieve their highest potential.
As a teacher, I play an important role in special needs children behavioral management. This is hard to do in the face-to-face classroom as I experienced it before, and this gets even harder when it is a virtual classroom during this pandemic. I may deal with kids with autism or other health impaired like ADHD in the virtual class, and managing their behavior may feel like the most significant challenge in the virtual class, no matter how long your experience as a special education teacher or how well you connect with the children. But there are a few interventions which means effective strategies to correct unacceptable behaviors in virtual classroom that I would like to share with you. The first strategy is that teachers need to establish relationships with the special needs children because they need to believe that you are investing in them, such as smiling and welcoming them, so that they are less likely to want to give you a difficult time because you have this strong relationship. The second strategy is that teachers should focus on their children's strengths and remember that everyone is good at something. This could help to modulate their behavior. The last strategy I would like to share is that the teacher should make a specific compliment to the good behavior the children show, even though they might not always know how to react to a compliment, but they still like it. For many children, the more responses and reactions they get from you for negative behaviors, the more negative behaviors they will give you. However, whatever you do, don't give up. The special needs children who are not disrupting and even those who are need you as a teacher to correct their behavior.
A special needs child is a youth who has been determined to require special attention and special necessities that other children do not. Therefore, special needs children may need alternative approaches to education, but not only accommodate their conditions, but also work toward creating ways for them to further their own capacity to learn and develop. Their attention span also shorter than typical child. As a development doctor, there are few effective ways to control the special needs children's behavior that I would like to suggest. First, parents and teachers can use rewards and consequences to control the behavior. Rewards can be positive reinforcement for good behavior and natural consequences for bad behavior. For example, if the kid can sit down at their place for 10 minutes longer than the usual, you can give them a sticker as a reward. Second, use clear and simple messages. For special needs child, you can communicate with them using pictures, role-playing, or gestures to be sure they know what they are working toward and enhance their understanding. You must keep verbal and visual language simple, clear, and consistent. Besides that, for special needs with vision impairment, you need to avoid being self-conscious about your use of wording, such as, do you see what I mean? Last but not least, make sure to praise and reward your child for their effort in everything. I hope this can help teachers and parents to conduct online learning during this pandemic. Thank you.
Every special needs children has their own needs and problems. Parents and teachers out there need to be aware of the children's behavior and condition so that we can help them grow optimally. All parties need to work together to share problems and the children's development. This is because each of the parties has different role and observation to consider. Like parents, they observe the children while at home, their behavior when they have a free time. Okay, teacher observe the children at school, their social skill, intelligence, while the therapist will assess the children, the progress, and maybe what can be improved. Most of parents are aware of the children's behavior, but do not know how to control or get rid of some certain negative or unwanted behavior. So during this pandemic, many children cannot access to the therapy because of the movement control order by government, and many parties started to aware the importance of technological medium as a medium to deliver therapy. Therefore, many therapists already started to provide online therapy. It's called teletherapy. This is one of the initiatives for parents to collaborate with the therapists so that their children can access to the therapy and do any specific non-therapeutic intervention based on the parent and children needs. As parents, we know that parents want to help the children to behave and have a better development. like other typical kids. So just please do and try any ways that you think right for your family. Only you know what's best for your family. Okay, do not give up. Once you decided to do something, please try to be consistent. Always believe your children have his or her own abilities and their own pace to grow. So just please be positive. I would like to give some example. It's common for autistic children to behave aggressively toward themselves or maybe to other people, right? So the first step in managing and changing aggressive or self-injurious behavior is understanding why it's happened. Okay, autistic children might behave aggressively or hurt themselves because they have trouble understanding what's happening around them, maybe have difficulties communicating what they need, okay, their own wants and needs. So because of the sensory sensitivities, like oversensitive to noise, so that they act aggressively for parent to give attention to them and get them out from the unwanted or stressful situation like that. If you understand what causes your autistic children, to everyone, to every parent, what caused your children to behave that way, behave certain way that you don't like or not good for them, you have to seek for professional help. Okay? You have to do something to help your children.